Hey everybody, welcome to The Bottom Line. I'm Michael Noland, and tonight we're going to be discussing Syd Barrett, a man, a songwriter, a pop star, an artist, and a tragedy. Now, what brought me to make this video is the fact that they are now announcing a brand new movie that's going to cover Syd Barrett's story, long overdue. Have you got it yet? Intriguing title. Now, I've seen the usual documentaries concerning Syd Barrett. There's been some good ones out there, and they have followed his career from the point where he was just a young man who would play his songs on his acoustic guitar to anyone who was willing to listen, and how he went from that point to fully functioning in the highly experimental and psychedelic realms of Pink Floyd. At first, giving indications that they were nothing more than a pop band with their first few singles, and by the time he was losing interest in working with Pink Floyd, and the time that they brought on David Gilmour, we saw that something was definitely wrong. Now, whether Syd Barrett experienced schizophrenia as a late onset type of thing, usually young people get it in their teens to late teens, but it's not unheard of to get it a little later, or rather was this a self-induced schizophrenia due to his habitual use of LSD? But no matter how you cut it, the man had demons. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, longtime viewers know that I am a big fan of Sheryl Crow's album, The Globe Sessions, and one of the reasons that I loved that album were the snippets from time to time of studio chatter. You almost felt like a fly on the wall, and it gave that album a flavor. But long before Sheryl Crow did that trick, Syd Barrett already had it covered. Of course, I'm talking about his wonderful album, The Madcap Laughs. Now, when I say wonderful, there are people who don't care for this album. Too many false starts, too long of chatter between proper material, and the material seems disjointed. But to me, you know what? That's all the brilliance that wonderful album had to offer. Now, I wasn't originally a Pink Floyd Syd Barrett era fan. I discovered him for the first time on the Metal album, and my interest was piqued, but I got to admit, it was Dark Side of the Moon that really made me take a look at this band, because when that came out, I was looking for everything they had put out. Piper at the Gates of Dawn, Syd Barrett, genius works. And by the way, sadly speaking, it was Barrett's fall that encouraged Roger Waters to even take on a more active role writing for the group, and it was the tragedy. He dealt with that tragedy throughout his writings in one form or another that gave him his lyrical muse, I think. So Roger Waters has an entire career, both with Pink Floyd and post-career, thanks to Syd Barrett. And by the way, for those of you who haven't really delved into psychedelia, you know, these early albums by Pink Floyd tells you the whole story. I mean, they cover so many aspects of that psychedelic realm. And as I've stated before, I still see them right up to their most current album as a psychedelic band. It evolved. You know, even Dark Side of the Moon wasn't seen necessarily as a psychedelic album, but it was psychedelia supreme, in my opinion. But getting back to why I'm so excited about this upcoming film is that we have gotten great documentaries, but we've never gotten the live footage that the little snippets that we've seen so far have shown, have we? I mean, wouldn't it be wonderful if they had had a camera filming him while he recorded the Madcap Laughs? Either way, we're going to get a ton of footage that we've never got, and I think it's essential, because you know what? This man, right along with John Lennon, is one of the giants of the 60s as far as taking the music into another dimension. And of course, Paul McCartney had a lot to do with that too. Without Paul's input, John might have not made that leap. It was together they made that leap. I mean, their best psychedelia stuff has lots of input from Paul. But right there, and even more daring than the Beatles ever imagined to take psychedelic, Pink Floyd took it to the realms beyond realms, I tell you. Okay, quick video, to the point tonight, but man, I'm looking forward to that film. Hey, let me know in the comments what you think of it. Or is Syd Barrett for you just a curious little footnote in rock history? In my opinion, the man was a freaking giant, all right? And he is responsible for a good chunk of rock and roll moving in a forward direction. All right, so if you enjoyed the video tonight, I always ask this, don't I? I ask you to give it a thumbs up because that helps trigger the YouTube algorithm. The channel grows, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel as of yet, that's easy. All you have to do is hit that subscribe to the tribe button, tap that top bell notification, and you are there. All right, I'm Michael Noland. This is The Bottom Line, or at least as I see it. And together, folks, as I've always said, we are the tribe. And I'll see you in my next video.